Now we head from Los Angeles to the Pacific Northwest. Located on the sparkling waters of Puget Sound, Seattle is famous for its seafood. The fresh catch of the day from Pike Place Market makes a nice, light summertime meal. At Palisade Restaurant, fish dinners are the specialty. With its Polynesian theme, this place serves up a delicious taste of the tropics.
Orders up!
Seafood is so popular here that executive chef Craig Hansen figured, why not offer a double dose? So check this out, ahi tuna for both dinner and dessert. The sweet look-alike is made from pomegranate panna cotta and white chocolate, rolled in black sesame seeds. Or if you prefer shellfish, how about lobster tail for both your first and final course?
I wanted it to be something that my guests would say, wow, this is not only unique, but this is really good, and you're not going to have anything like it anywhere else.
Palisade's entire lobster dinner, the shell, the meat, the asparagus, everything's recreated in sugar.
The lobster meat I replaced with guava marshmallow. The lobster shell, I used puff pastry, painted red with a little bit of baker's food coloring. And then the asparagus I replaced with shortbread cookies, some ground chocolate and coconut on the tips.
Making the marshmallow that will replicate the lobster meat is the first step. Craig heats up a sugar syrup of 2 parts sugar and 1 part water to 240 degrees, where it reaches just the right consistency.
Now to test it, we're just going to drop a little bit of it in cold water. And we want to see it ribbon almost like a piece of candy. And there it is. We're going to swing it over here and just put it in our mixer.
A guava gelatin mixture will help thicken it up.
Now we're going to whip this on high for about 6 to 8 minutes until it's completely cooled.
As the air's whipped in, the marshmallow mixture gets fluffy and white.
Now we want it to be just past the ribbon state, almost to like a taffy state.
To shape the marshmallow, Craig made a mold out of baker's plaster to look like lobster meat. As he works the mixture in, he uses lots of powdered sugar to combat stickiness.
We're going to press this in here nice and firm.
It's gooey now, but when we come back, the marshmallow sets up enough to decorate. And then we can turn to the shell. Find out how puff pastry transforms into a lobster tail. And later on, strawberries 3 ways. The South Pacific comes to Seattle at Palisade Restaurant. It always feels like summer at this Polynesian eatery. Lobster tail is the biggest seller, so the chef decided to make a whimsical look-alike version for dessert.
As far as the diners here at Palisade are concerned, there's nothing like the Australian rock lobster tail. So I decided that that was something that I really wanted to be creative with and really just have fun with.
The lobster dessert is made from marshmallow and puff pastry. Copycat asparagus comes from green shortbread cookies. So far, Chef Hansen has made the lobster meat out of homemade marshmallow. Now that it has firmed up, he can finish the illusion brushing it with an apricot glaze.
It puts a nice sheen on it that helps it have a glossy look and adds a light layer of flavor.
And for extra sizzle,
kind of brulees it, gives it a nice texture, and then gives it the look of that grill.
For the charred look, Craig paints on grill marks with a mixture of chocolate and vanilla and adds a dusting of ground chocolate. The lobster meat is done, so it's on to the lobster shell. Amazingly, Craig gets the look he's after from puff pastry.
Here we've got some classic pâté à choux. It's your standard cream puff or eclair base. We're going to split the pâté à choux in half.
Imitating the true color is tricky.
Australian lobster tail has random spots, no particular pattern.
To copy the splotchy look, Craig dots a pastry with edible paraffin wax. That way, the red food dye won't color those spots.
And then we'll peel the wax off and it'll leave the natural pâte à choux color underneath.
For an even more realistic color, Craig brushes on a layer of powdered baking chocolate.
These are coming out great, getting a lot of nice color contrast.
The sweet lobster tail is looking good. So what's next? Well, the real meal is served with a side of grilled asparagus. On the dessert plate, shortbread dyed green is the perfect stand-in. After baking, the tips are dipped in jelly and a mix of coconut flakes and ground chocolate.
What this does is give us the natural frayed end of the asparagus.
Grill marks come from more powdered chocolate and vanilla.
It's just like Washington asparagus that's been grilled on a barbecue.
Now our look-alike seafood dessert comes together, starting with a mousse cream to hold everything in place.
It's the passion fruit mousse cream. It's very sweet with a little bit of tartness.
Dyed puff pastry becomes the lobster shell.
Just want to press it in a little bit. I want our tail to kind of fan out. So now we're just going to very gently lay marshmallow lobster on top of the shells.
And you can't forget your veggies, or in this case, asparagus-shaped shortbread cookies. Finally, instead of butter, this sweet lobster is served with a side of passion fruit sauce.
There you have it, the guava marshmallow lobster dessert.
This seafood restaurant is ready to double your pleasure with seafood that's both savory and sweet. It's a playful finale to a delicious summertime meal on the waterfront.